I feel most often folks who are going through heartbreak want to know that there's going to be somebody else that's going to swoop in and fill that void. And I want you to know that that person is you, your future self working to swoop in to support you in your present. It might feel really painful because this present you wants a literal person to show up and be like, hey, I love you. Let's be together. But wouldn't that be such a lame story? Wouldn't that be the story of somebody who stays in a codependency with another person rather than saves themselves and becomes that highest future version of themselves? And then that version of themselves is supported by the other future version of themselves who's even more badass in this lifetime, and then this person gets to expand and see their growth and see their amazingness, see their strengths, gets to be a more supportive person also because of their capacity to love and experience pain to other people. So they get to be an empowering force to way more people because they've cultivated the inner strength and courage and power, versus the other person who is then saved by the other person and they get to just stay in a little bit more complacency in this present moment. Does that make sense? If you're following along with this analogy, let me know in the comments. But ultimately, your future self wants you to grow. Your future self wants you to expand. Your future self wants this life to be full of adventure, full of heartbreak, full of life. If we lose a lust for life, then it's worth taking the time to tune back into the things that used to bring us a lust for life. Go back to the past, explore your past childhood passions, allow the inner child to be brought back, allow yourself more fun, more play, and remember what this life is truly about, which is not just being in partnership with another human being, not just having a cozy, easeful life in our comfort zone. It is to expand. Hey you, I'm Anissa. Welcome to Create to Liberate. Today's episode is about reclaiming your power after heartbreak, after going through difficulty, trial, and tribulation. I am so excited to share this one because I'm coming off of a high. I just finished attending one-day choir experience and it was cathartic. I'll get into that and also share some tips and tools to help you alchemize your pain, help you work through heartbreak in periods where we know that our heart is blocked and we need to take additional steps to open it, clear the density, clear the blockages within our heart. As always, I share wisdom from my own lived experience, as I believe we're all each other's mirrors. We provide a mirror to each other to be able to see ourselves more clearly and hopefully empower each other. If you enjoy this video, hit the like button, subscribe to this channel. If you don't enjoy this video, hit the like button anyway. We are trying to grow here. Subscribe to this channel, and if you're listening on audio, give a 5-star review. Without further ado, let's get into it. We'll cover the importance of acknowledging our pain, reflecting on the past hurt, but also deeply reclaiming our power and embracing this new version of self moving forward. We need to feel our pain of heartbreak. If not, we do not allow it to pass through us. If we do not acknowledge the pain that we actually endured, it can fester within us. It can grow as resentment. It can grow in shadowy ways. Rather than in a direct attack, we can allow this anger, this festering energy to be dissipated through love, through creative expression, etc. It's so powerful to acknowledge past pain, past hurts, to carry anger. Many women are deconditioned from expressing their anger, and so oftentimes it's hard to acknowledge when we're actually angry. I had this experience of driving home from this amazing choir experience, and I didn't even realize how frustrated I was until I was trying to make a left turn and the car behind me was honking and I wasn't making that left turn because pedestrians were there. And then I cursed them out and I was like, damn, that normally doesn't get to me. And then I realized I was actually hangry. In addition to that person behind me, anger also impacts me. Anger can be such a ripple effect when people take it out on each other, and that's why there's so much power in acknowledging our own anger and taking ownership over it, really claiming it, harnessing it like a wild beast and taming it. But first you have to acknowledge it. If not, that beast runs wild and starts to impact other people's lives, like the person honking behind me in traffic, or you see people yelling at their kids because they're angry at their partner. You just see this amazing ripple effect when it comes to anger and the way that pain is passed around, violence is passed around, hurt is passed around. And that's super unnecessary when you allow yourself to alchemize, to transmute the feelings of anger in your personal container, and then move through the world with a level of freeness, liberated and also a deep sense of inner power, because what anger allows us to tap into is our power, there's a ferocity in anger, there's a real fire in anger that is a valuable element too. If we're going through the roller coaster of heartbreak, sometimes we are not allowing ourselves to feel the anger. We're allowing ourselves to feel the sadness. Maybe we're nostalgic, reflective. But it takes that FU energy to take steps forward and get off of that roller coaster that is analyze and psychoanalyze and see if there's anything that I could have done, rather than make the other person the enemy. But rather than villainize a person, what we can do is see certain actions as unjust. We can acknowledge what specific behaviors we do not accept in our lives, what our boundaries actually are and how they might have been crossed. When we become critical of actions over people, we also start to graduate from victim consciousness into an empowered state of functioning and thinking, which is a step forward. Sometimes this process isn't meant to be done alone. You can do it through journaling. You can do it with a therapist. You can do it with a friend. You can do this in a group setting. You can do this through music. I love connecting with music to feel this sense of cathartic relief around the anger that's with us. It's so powerful to somatically release, getting into our physical body. Maybe you want to do something that's high cardio impact that allows you to feel that fire, live with that fire and that feeling of that fire for a little bit more, rather than just try to cool it down. And then when you feel like you've hit a peak level of anger within you, then you can take a deep exhale. Creative outlets are so powerful for this transmutation. And when I find myself getting frustrated or feeling numb or feeling disassociated, it's always an indicator to me to tune to my creative practices as an outlet. This is called Create to Liberate for a reason, is because oftentimes when we think we're seeking love romantically, we also are seeking romance. Romance from the creativity, from the imagination, from all the areas of our life. And if you start to build yourself pathways that are outside of partnership to have that creative fulfillment, that romantic fulfillment, then you won't always need another person to fill that. You'll have all these other avenues, all these other methods of singing, dancing, writing, expressing that you go to, and you feel a deep level of catharsis, connection to, relief from, and it's sustainable. That can be with you for the entirety of your life in a way that a person will not be. When it comes to reclaiming our power, part 2, what is the negative belief? What is the storyline that we're repeating to ourselves and telling ourselves? What have we internalized that's not true? How do we want to rewrite that narrative so we are the empowered persons in the storyline that we're repeating within our head? How can we just quiet that storyline altogether and allow ourselves some spaciousness? So important to build self-care practices, so important to build self-love practices that reinforce that we are so deeply and worthy of love, that we're so enough in this present moment, that we don't have to be anything different from what we've been to receive the love that we deserve after a heartbreak. It can feel like a hopelessness, a faithlessness in our ability to receive and call in the relationship that we desire going forward. Maybe that person felt like the best, yet we'll believe that the best has yet to come. Believe that if not then someone better, if not someone better, then a better life, holistically, better friends, better family, and eventually better love. But it might not just be in the timing that you are demanding. Maybe this is a period of surrender for you. Maybe the person that you need to grow into will take some time to work itself out, because that person is going to feel deeply powerful and deeply worthy. My goddess card today from my oracle deck was Kali. Kali is an Indian goddess who shows you that often by embracing your destructive, angry, primal self, you become most powerful. You start to really step into a true nature of yours, which we're conditioned out of acting as, because if everybody was in their Kali energy, it'd be wild, wild west. It'd be hard to control. We'd have a society of people somewhat unhinged, but you deserve moments regardless to be unhinged in your own private space. You deserve moments to feel your anger fully, at least just for yourself. We don't allow ourselves spaciousness to experience all the range of our emotions. And what's the point of living where we get to have emotional range? The point is feeling deeply, and then we can channel that into creativity. We can channel that into self-reflection, but we can allow ourselves to be in the feeling states, even if we don't act from those feeling states, even if we're not quite literally being the destroyers, but we get to feel the Kali energy of primal anger. We get to scream into a pillow if we need to. We get to sing an angry song. We get to physically overexert ourselves, and then we get to wind down. And we get to laugh, and we get to have perspective on that time that we were so angry and so built up and pent up with rage, and how it dissipated and became our liberation, how it dissipated and became our expansion, how it dissipated and we became a more empowered, more ferocious, more wild jungle cat of a person rather than like a small little kitty. So definitely take the time to prioritize your well-being, your self-care, set boundaries as you need. Going into part 3, embracing the future. How can you renew your sense of hope? How can you focus on having that level of optimism, even if it feels forced or fake? How can you practice belief in abundance, belief in more people, more love pouring into your life? How can you write down exactly what you desire in the future? What you desire from partnership, what you desire to feel internally? Just by writing it down, you'll be planting the seeds so that you can visualize that version of self, that life, that existence. And return to love, the love of your passions, your goals, your purpose. Return to love that is steady, the people in your life that truly love you. Spend time with people to see you in the light that you want to see yourself in. Surround yourself with love. Surround yourself with the comfort of people who make you feel safe. It's so deeply important to feel safe in our company, to feel like we don't have to prove anything, especially when you're feeling tender. And envisioning this future, embracing this future that's to come, you'll have so many deep lessons and learnings and wisdom from this period of time that it might be a saga to unpack all of it and do all the healing that's necessary to feel this high expressed version of yourself, but it's definitely going to come. Heartbreak is a deeply painful experience. It's also temporary. It allows our heart to open into a more expanded version. And I think every single heartbreak that I've personally experienced has allowed me to feel like I have more capacity to experience more heartbreaks. So weird to say, but the more heartbreak I experience in this lifetime, the less I fear heartbreak. The more pain we experience in this lifetime, the less fear we have towards pain. The more that we actually process that trauma or process that heartbreak and pain, the less that we're fearful of it, the more that we know we have the capacity to have endurance, have resilience through whatever suffering life throws our way, because to be alive is also to experience some suffering, to keep learning, to keep growing. You might stay in this physical size, especially once you get into adulthood, but you continue to grow in a way that you will get to see. So my final thought is, do not suppress your anger. Do not repress your anger. When you're feeling angry and you want to punch somebody, find something to punch, find a little pillow to punch, find something to break. Allow yourself some opportunity to experience that anger, that rage. Allow it to move through you. The fire within you is also an action-oriented energy. It moves and cuts through BS. It is such a powerful energy, and don't dismiss it. Allow it to be part of your emotional range, just like all the other wonderful, joyful, positive emotions. It too shall pass. All pain shall pass. I'm sending you so much love. I'm processing any grief, any hurt. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to this channel. If you're listening on audio, 5 stars. Sending you love in the days ahead. I appreciate you being here.